Have you ever been to a trade show? Typically, attending trade shows and conferences makes a highlight of my year. But how do I know what trade show or conference to go to? And when I go there, how do I know what questions to ask to make it worth my time? ABTT stands for Association of British Theatre Technicians, and from the name you can guess that this is going to be a very traditional and very British trade show that they organize. This organization represents a very niche industry where everyone knows each other, and on this trade show, which has been run for years, we're gonna have all kinds of companies under the same roof, and all sorts of people, from stage builders, lighting designers, to production managers and drama school representations, and so on. What's interesting is that the only thing that unites all those people is the love for theatre. But that's enough introduction, and let's begin our journey. Just arrived at the Alexandra Palace. It's a beautiful weather. It's a really lovely place with lots of parks and stuff. Got insane views of London from Alexandra Palace. It's situated right on a hill. And the fun fact about Alexandra Palace is that BBC launched the first television broadcast from this place in 1936. So there you go. That's essentially the trade show, and we've got lots of sound equipment, stage equipment. Those guys sell steel work and all kinds of stuff. That's basically what it looks like. So a lot of it is about friends meeting old friends and having a few pints. But of course it's worth to remember that it hasn't happened for the last 2 years because of COVID. So this is the first time many companies get to go to a trade show and actually exhibit. And as I walk down the stalls, I like to ask people, why are you here? And what's new in your business? And if you're gonna take one single thing from this video, then take this. Those people spent thousands of dollars and sometimes even hundreds of thousands of dollars to be here. So they better have a really good clue why they're here. This is a great question to ask, because it puts a conversation in the right frame from the beginning. And the sales representative will be very happy to answer this question rather than talk about weather and other bullshit, because this is really what they want to talk about. So you're gonna make a good impression and you're gonna get some interesting conversation going straight away. If for some reason the person you ask doesn't have a clue why are they there, then I suggest to just simply move along, because if they don't know, what useful information can they possibly tell you? So once a conversation is established and I have a bit of idea of why this company is in this booth, then I like to say something between the lines of, oh, you know, do you see this guy in a blue shirt over there? They're selling products exactly like yours. But what makes you think that your products are superior? And this is another great question to ask, because you're now getting the sales rep doing his best to sell his company to you. And you can just stand back and enjoy this conversation now. Of course, it helps a lot if you're actually familiar with the subject, so you can ask more questions and be a bit more technical about it. Then once you've talked about that, at this point it's the time for you to make your pitch, if you have a pitch. Because now you have the attention of the person you've been talking to for the last 5 minutes, and you established a little bit of trust because you've been asking some great questions, and now this person is actually interested to hear about what you have to say. So you can say it, whether you're looking for internship opportunities or a new job or something, you can just say, "Oh, that sounds like a great company to work for. Do you have any leads for me about how I can join you?" Or if you simply like to buy this product, you can ask about the discount. Basically, this is where you state your real reason for why you are there. And with business cards, I always try to follow it up with a connection on LinkedIn. And then this link is established, and you can always go back to it and ask this person more questions, or if you've come up with a new idea, you can message them directly. And to give you some insight of what it feels like to be inside the family-run British trade show, at the end of ABTT there was a small award ceremony with awards like Best Engineering Product or the Best Lighting Designer and so on, so I made a few recordings for you.
The Technician of the Year award goes to Daniel Ewing, known as Dan. This is Gavin Powell's commendation. Dan was one of the first back into theatre post-lockdown. He went to work on the first day Boris told us we could leave the house if we could go to work. He ran fit-ups for every show in London that opened. He adjusted to everyone else's random COVID needs and helped Pirate implement the COVID plan that ended up more or less becoming the norm. Despite having things booked and cancelled again and again, he never got down. Ran everything with a smile and compassion for this who came behind him. He is the best crew boss in the business by a long way. Once London had gotten itself on track, we went out as a production carpenter and did the same on the regional circuit. Without Dan, the UK theatre scene would look different than it does now, and how influential he was in 2020 and through to now, to Dan.
So that's basically everything. Pretty good show. I met a lot of people, a lot of interesting inside information about the industry. Yeah, well, I enjoyed it. It's a good visit. Look at that. What a day. And I almost forgot to mention, I got myself a really nice book, which could be a nice present as well. Pretty cool. So I hope you found this video interesting and enjoyable, and I appreciate it's not as technically informative, but I just want to highlight that networking and meeting new people is just as important in this job as is everything else, because you can be a very good engineer and technically savvy in everything, but if you don't have any connections, like it or not, it's going to hold you back. So expanding your horizons, traveling, meeting people is always a good thing, and you should always take every opportunity you get. At least I always do. So after the trade show, I've decided it's no better use of my time than to go to a climbing gym called the Castle. It's a lovely place with lots of outdoors areas. Exactly what you want in this weather.